Hello everyone, my name is Walter, and I'm back to read viewer-submitted stories today. I've done this a few times in the past, I think, but we're going to do it again. If you'd like to send me a story, I have a viewer-submitted stories channel on my Discord, and the link to that is in the description, as always. This is a Neckbeard story, which I don't get to cover that often anymore. YouTube actually kind of hates the subject too, for some reason. If there isn't enough here, I'll finish it up with posts from Reddit just Neckbeard things. Anyway, let's begin with viewer-submitted Neckbeard stories. Bear in mind that this first post is dated October 5th. There will be more dates. Pizza Beard. Before you read, Walter, no, this thankfully has nothing to do with CP. God, was I supposed to assume it would? That's good though, maybe I can keep it monetized for once. I attend college in Southern California as a third-year student as of current. I've been in this campus for long enough that I should be more familiarized with it. I decided to further explore the school until I found a lounge that caught my interest. It's called the Student Life Center, a place for college attendees to study, relax, to interact, even participate in activities like foosball, ping pong, or video games. There were 3 televisions set up, one of which had a Nintendo Switch hooked up with Smash Ultimate being played by more than 4 people. I asked to join in as I carry my own controller and a fanny pack with my Switch. This is where I meet our contender, who I will protect his identity by calling him Pizza Beard. He's a big guy with some scruff, wears glasses, and was wearing a Deadpool shirt. He was playing with a greased-up GameCube controller, which I learned was from pizza that he ate, and left a few pieces sitting on a table nearby. This guy is an absolute loudmouth. He literally shouts about everything, even outside of playing Smash Bros. Once we finish playing, I walk over to a table in a corner to get studying for an exam that I had that week. A minute later, Pizza Beard sits at the same table, right in front of me. He started the conversation normally at first with introducing himself, which then followed up with him asking if I knew any single girls on campus. He then starts boasting about how much of a ladies' man he is, but he cannot afford to please a woman without having a job. I could tell this guy has some issues involving boundaries, especially while he sat closer to me and was taking up my personal space to see what I'm studying. I asked him to sit a little further from me, to which he gave a look of discontent, like I was at fault. You gotta love when you're so bad at social cues that someone has to tell you to please sit farther back from them. I'd feel like a weirdo. I learned this guy is terrible with managing his budget, as he asked me for money because his bank account was more than $150 in debt. His requests were common to the point where I decided to avoid the Student Life Center for a while. The current semester comes, and dear God, Pizza Beard is in my math course. And just to get to point, he was always sleeping during class, and he's always not paying attention when he's awake. He also lacked the resources for the class, such as a calculator and a textbook, which can be rented or bought used for cheap. Of course, Pizza Beard has other things to invest in other than his education, which is why he kept asking me for my book and calculator. He finally got a job working at a pizza restaurant, but was still god-awful with handling his earnings. Another thing that I noticed is that he stares at some of the female students in the classroom. One day I see him talking to this girl that sits behind me, and he's leaning right next to her, talking about comics and video games. I could tell the girl was not interested, and she seemed uncomfortable with him being so close to her, but he continued blabbing on with this voice that echoed the hallways of the building. The next week comes, and I encounter an extraordinary scene of Pizza Beard being told by the same girl to stop staring at her chest. He notices me walking towards their path, which was near our classroom, and he says to me, "I know this looks bad, but I can explain." Well, this is definitely a little more awkward than being told to sit farther away. How obvious does he have to be for everyone in the class to notice he's staring at the girls? I reply, "I don't think I need an explanation. I'm just going to study in the corner." I was honestly dismayed that he was basically harassing this girl, and I had came in right in time to witness this awkward interaction. I overheard him laughing and kept joking about the name Brad. Class starts and Pizza Beard doesn't enter the class, telling me he had dropped it because it was a waste of time. During break of the math course, I asked the girl about her experience with him. She explains the obvious of him staring at her uncomfortably, including how touchy he is, that he followed her numerous times after class with her noticing until she gets to her car. And the reason he was laughing about the name Brad is because that is her boyfriend's name. Of course, Pizza Beard does the expected and tries to ask her out and insists that he'll be a better boyfriend than Brad. This really made my stomach turn, and I couldn't help but sympathize with this girl. I convinced her to let him know that she's uncomfortable with him, which she did. However, he still comes to the math building just to meet this person. Ah yes, someone says they feel uncomfortable around you, that's obviously not the end of things, just means you gotta try harder. The most recent thing that happened was yesterday when we were studying outside the classroom before our exam, and Pizza Beard swoops in to lay down right next to the girl, sitting down on the floor. This made me cringe to where I had to say something, and I told Pizza Beard, "You need to knock it off. People have boundaries and you're being very invasive. Also, leave her alone. She's already told you to stop." He gets up, stares at me for a fleeting moment, then angrily trudges out of the math building. Forgot to mention, this guy is 24 years old, and the girl that he keeps on pestering on to date him had recently turned 18. To me, that age gap is too obtuse, and I don't blame this girl for feeling preyed upon by this creepy older guy. Don't know what will happen next, as this happened only a day ago. I'll see if I can update the story. I've just been very busy with school and work. Thanks for reading my story, and I hope you all survived the cringe. Whoa, you gotta be careful about who you call creepy nowadays. I've heard using that word makes you a bigot. Anyway, let's run through some updates. October 7th. Updated. The girl blocked him on everything because he won't stop messaging her. He's so pissed right now. October 11th. Pizza Beard has not been sighted on campus all week, and the girl he creeps on didn't show up to class today. October 15th. The girl from my math class who was being stalked by Pizza Beard has dropped the course. The reason for this was the only destination he knew where she is. All I can think is he this much of an insufferable creep? Ironically, the college released a survey to all attendees through our student emails about what we would do in a situation involving abusive relationships and assault. Pizza Beard still hasn't shown his face around campus, but I visited the Student Life Center after class and saw one of his friends. I asked what he's been up to. They reply, he decided to drop from this semester so he can focus on finances. I guess it's good on him to try investing in his job to gain stability. I just hope he gains a better sense of understanding people's boundaries. I'll update again if anything else occurs, but for now it seems like it'll be the end of the tale of Pizza Beard. But of course it's never the end, right? October 16th. I passed by the girl this morning and she showed me her Snapchat DMs between her and Pizza Beard. He sent her a barrage of messages, but the one that stood out was, "Okay, I'll stop messaging you. I guess I'm not good enough for you anyway. I'm just a bother, unlike your boyfriend. I'm jealous, which is why I make fun of him, but I'm only joking. I don't know how to control myself around you. You just seem like my kind of girl. However, I know you don't like me, but I cannot get over you." After class, went to the Student Life Center, and big coincidence, Pizza Beard is there. He was there because he had nothing better to do today. I didn't hesitate. I trudged to him and asked if I could have a word with him in private. We go to a corner outside so no one can hear or notice, and I express all my disgust towards him without skipping a beat. Pizza Beard started to act all guilty, mopey, and started to mumble, "I'm just an immature guy. I don't know how to act around girls, and she's the only one I have feelings for." I cut the bullshit and gave him the hard truth with some insight. "You know she has a boyfriend, and you two are obviously not compatible. She acts nice around you because that's her nature as a person. It doesn't mean she owes you romanticism. There are plenty of other girls out there. Don't dedicate your efforts on only her, especially while she's already taken, and she shares little to nothing in common with you. Get over it and leave her alone." He's giving me this demeanor of guilt tripping, the same sensation I got from reading those Snapchat messages to that girl. I continue my scrutiny. It's not just the way you are with verbal interaction. You get very close to her, and that time you laid down next to her was unacceptable. His excuse was, "I'm an awkward guy. I act weird because of the way I am." You know, I'm sure it's true, but it doesn't give him the right to inflict his awkwardness on another person all the time. It's actually really easy to not stalk someone if you try. But I feel like Brad probably should have done something here. I call nonsense and tell him, "Don't blame your actions on your mentally. I'm retarded too, but I don't uncontrollably start getting touchy with people. I understand what tendencies are. They are hard to get rid of, but touching others like that is by your own intentions. Don't give me that crap." Pizza Beard begins to tear up and walks back into the Student Life Center, telling his friends that I antagonized him for being himself. Pizza Beard leaves the building and his friends call me out for being a jackass. I tell them, "You have no idea what he's been doing to another student on campus." I leave the Student Life Center feeling furious, and that's what my current situation in this saga is at. I'm just going to end it here for now until something else happens. Thanks for reading, and I hope this story didn't ruin pizza for y'all. God, wasn't this guy 24? What's he doing crying because someone younger yelled at him? Hard to imagine. Well, as you've no doubt guessed, this is not quite the end of it. October 23rd. Pizza Beard found where the female classmate attends her other classes. I met with her this morning and she told me he is still following her. He does the same spiel about being in love with her, and that he wants to get close with her as much as he can. Ironically enough, he was open to her about being reported to the campus police for stalking another female student. He tells her, "I'm so awkward and that my attempts at finding a girlfriend make girls want to do anything in their power to stay away from me, even if it means wrongfully reporting me to law enforcement. I'm seriously going to find him and be a lot more rash because this is urgent. If the girl can't stop him, I'll warn him that I'd be involved if he gets reported." Here are several screen caps of messages. I won't read them because they're not really that interesting, but they do corroborate that he's still talking to the girl. You can pause and read them if you want, of course. In the last one, he's accused of stalking the other female student, which he flat out denies. October 29th. Probably the last update on the Pizzabeard story. The girl that Pizzabeard won't stop stalking has filed a report against him because he won't stop messaging and following her around campus. I voluntarily came forward with my own accounts as an eyewitness as I've seen his behavior gradually worsen around her. The campus police said they'd handle it. Days pass and I haven't seen him around. I'm assuming that he got banned from the college. The girl can thankfully not worry about this bastard bothering her anymore and hopefully doesn't have to deal with this ever again. For me, personally, I'm just disappointed that this awkward guy turned out to be a pathetic creep. I sacrificed my reputation at the Student Life Center for this, which I can live with as I have friends I can hang out with elsewhere. This has been a roller coaster of an experience, and I'll keep posting if something else comes out of this, which might happen. Alright, so I'd be willing to cut this guy a lot more slack if it was only his behavior in class, or if he was younger. Like I said earlier, you can't accidentally stalk someone. It probably takes a lot of effort, and he's spending too much time thinking about her. Let's just hope the prospect of being in trouble for the first time is enough to get him to cut it out. Make sure to let me know what you think about the story in the comments, but for now I think I'm out of time for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please like and comment. If you're new and liked it, please consider subscribing. It all really helps me out. Today is the day I shout out my patrons who are so generously helping me out every month. Yes, I do have a Patreon linked in the description, just in case anyone wanted to give me beer money. Big thanks to Levon, Mary Vanorsky, Chris Sturman, Invader Jill, Emily, Tato Ferret, Spoofs McJenkins, Spoonie the Rogue, Hunter Malcolm, Amanda Gillies, Cody Brooks, Chocobo Asylum, Camper Supreme, Knit1 Code 2, Ryan Ortego, Roy, Lil Spoon, Ms. Mayhem, Sheridan Shadrack, Domi Marshall, Jubes, Donuts, Chocobo Valentine, Jack Pacey, Clint Painter, and Esperova. Thank you all so much once again. Hopefully I'll be back to streaming here soon. I need to get my computer fixed still. There's definitely a lot to say about Lucas Werner, but I'd like to focus on reading some stories for the time being. Thanks again for watching. Have a great night, everyone, and make sure you don't accidentally end up with a neckbeard from No Shave November.